What's up, everybody? ShonnyDman here, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing great, and welcome back to Nerd Talk with ShonnyDman. This is the first video or the first episode of Nerd Talk for the 2023 year. Very excited for that. Hope you guys had a great holiday and a great New Year's. Currently, I am still quote unquote on a break. Well, from video game wise, but we'll be back on that this upcoming Monday as well. But again, thank you guys for coming back. I hope you guys are ready to jump into it. I am joined by a new guest. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi guys, my name is Astra. I go by Astravoidcosplay on all of my socials, and I am a cosplayer.
So we've been talking and chatting for the past couple of weeks on getting this set up. We finally got around to doing it. I'm very glad to have her on. She has great cosplays, so you guys will definitely need to go check her out as well and show her some support. So so tell us about your cosplays. What got you started?
I I always get asked this question, and it's such a long story, and I'm so tired of telling it. But it's the short version, because I'll spend hours like rambling on about the short version. Is I was in theater in high school, and I don't have a theater program anymore with college and everything where I'm at. So I needed a creative outlet, and I've always been a huge nerd. And I already had the costume for Gamora, which is the first one I ever did. My mom actually ended up finding the Comic-Con, and we went, and everything from there just kind of like snowballed. So it kind of all happened on accident.
Okay. So how long have you been doing this?
Roughly 3 years. I believe this July marks 4.
Oh, okay. What's been your favorite cosplay that you've done so far?
It changes every time I do one because they're kind of like my children. And every time I make something new, that's like my favorite baby for a while until I make the next new thing. So right now, my favorite one that I've probably made is Lava Girl, but it's super uncomfortable to wear.
Oh,
so
yes, I can understand.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, that was just I will say I really like that one. Well, I like all your cosplays, but I thought that one was really cool.
Thank you.
Your Starfire, I believe. That one was cool. That looked like that probably took a long time to do.
Yeah, the painting. the body painting, yeah, for sure.
That looked very like a long process to do. So you do all that. What's a cosplay in the future that you want to do or that you're working on?
So it was originally a goal for last year, but I've never made a dress before. And I'm kind of insane, I guess, for just jumping super far into the deep end with this. But I'm currently working on finishing Queen Amidala from episode 1. It's the big red invasion dress with the orbs and the giant headpiece. So that one is one that that's one that I'm really hoping to have done this year.
That's pretty cool. So there's that one. Your Lava Girl looks great. You've also done Supergirl. I think you've done 2 different cosplay outfits of Supergirl. I think one of them I recognize from the show, and then I think the one's just the classic. If I'm right.
I guess technically, but they're both were from the show. I did like the skirt version, and then I did the pantsuit version.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, I guess the skirt's kind of a classic anyway, so.
That's true. Let's see, what else was there? There was also, you did Mira from Aquaman. Very cool. And then you did a Jennifer's Body. That one was
2 of them, yeah.
Yeah, that was that's right. You had the cheerleader outfit, and then you had kind of like the pink sweater, and I was like, that's pretty neat. I remember growing up, and I used to I was thinking about this. I was telling my best friend about this the other day. Because I used to grow up and I used to like see cosplayers and stuff like that, and I used to think that, man, these guys are just weird, and but doing this and but weird. But like doing this now and like meeting everybody who I've met through this and all the cosplayers that I've met through this, I was just like, okay, they're still weird, but in a good way, and I can definitely rock with them. That is for sure. Um, what's so how many cons have you been to?
Dude, I've lost count. I really have, like, because it started out as like a local one and like doing the ones near me, and then it kind of branched out to like the big ones in the state. I'm from Virginia, so the big ones in the state of Virginia, and then it branched out to, oh, Maryland, and oh, Florida, and oh, North Carolina, and Ohio, and New York, and it's just kind of like spread over the years. And now I have the really amazing opportunity and pleasure to be a guest at a lot of these cons now. And so with that on top of everything else, I just completely lose track of where I've been and how many things I've done. I probably really couldn't give you a number. If I had to guesstimate, probably like nearing 50s.
Oh wow.
Probably more.
And these are all ones that are like
lot.
These are all ones that are like close proximity to you, correct? Or they are, well, I think you said you've been to Georgia?
I haven't been to a con in Georgia yet. I'm hoping I get to next year.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of them were started out as locals. And then it spread out to other states and other places. So I've traveled a lot with all of that. But yeah, I think over the like 3 coming on 4 years that I've been doing it, it's been a lot. And I think last year was probably the most I've ever gone to cons or traveled for them. Okay. And next year is going to be worse. next year I think I have like 2 or 3 per month.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Aside from I think April. I think it's April. One of the months is the months where I don't have a lot going on in terms of Comic-Con stuff, but I'm always building and I'm always working on stuff. Okay. So I don't really ever stop.
No, I understand. So what's it like? You were just, early on you were going to the cons and then you become a guest at these functions. How was that like a big shock to you that you were like picked to be a guest? Or how did that affect you?
Yeah, it was well, it's I don't even know how to word it. It's crazy because, for me, starting out and like I competed a lot and I have a lot of trophies and a lot of awards and stuff. So to be on that side of it and then to one day be on the other side of the table judging is like really intense. I will say I'm really grateful for the fact that I've had so much experience with competing and stuff like that, because it just really puts in perspective for me when I'm judging other people to be like, okay, I know how I felt. I know like what I wish I was asked. I know how I wish I was treated, so I can make sure I don't treat other people that way. So on like the judging, like the contest side of it, I definitely prefer judging than competing. It's less stressful. It can be a little intense at times because it just goes so fast and you don't want to do something wrong. But it's definitely less stressful. It's more calming on that end. On like just the end of having like a table and everything and being a guest, it's kind of crazy to me, I guess, because I don't really look at it this way. I don't think of myself like this. But when I started out, I would go up to the cosplay guests and I would meet these people and I'd be like, oh my gosh, like you're so amazing and you've done so many things. And I'm like, I want to do things and I don't know how to make things yet. And I want to. One person in particular, Night Mage, was like one of the biggest inspirations for me. And he was so kind and he took the time. It was my first GalaxyCon and he took the time to like actually sit down and just explain like how to make wings and just everything. And he was so nice. Oh. And like now being on like where he was on that side of the table, having people come up to me and say those things to me, and it's crazy. And it's like I said, it started out with like Virginia's like local shows, and then it grew to now I'm getting the chance to be a guest at the Galaxy Cons that he was a guest at, and like the idea, I don't know if he's going to be a guest at because next year I'll be a guest at, or, well, this year we're in 2023 now, so my brain doesn't work yet. I'm still behind, but I'll be a guest at GalaxyCon Richmond and then GalaxyCon in Raleigh, North Carolina. I don't know if he's going to be there, but the idea is crazy to me that I could possibly have a booth next to the guy that I was looking up to when I was starting out, you know?
Yeah,
that's like a crazy, like, you know, so I guess if you could imagine what that feels like, it's very overwhelming. So.
You know, you meet your hero, and listen, you met somebody who you looked up to, and now years later, here you are with a chance of having potentially, like, you know, like you said, the same booth next to that person. That's really cool.
Well, and now, like, I have people come up to me and say things to me, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, like I've been following you for so long, and like I look up to you," and I'm like, "Ooh, don't do that." I'm like, "Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't." But it's flattering. I hope that I can like do everybody justice. You know?
Right. So. Listen, hey, it's tough being a role model and somebody that, you know, people look up to. That's hey, more power to you. I will have to say that. Hey, keep it up. You're like, from what I've seen with your cosplays and everything, you do an outstanding job. Just, you know, your comment sections are very interactive and supportive. So, I mean, you do a great job, and I'm sure, like I mentioned, like you going from just a person who just attending the con to somebody being a judge in them, it's just an upgrade to, you know, your life, and now you're all over the place traveling. That's it's something.
Nuts. I mean, it's crazy especially because like the way that I got the GalaxyCon thing was just nuts because like I had traveled to Columbus, Ohio for the first time to compete there. And I ended up winning an award, and that's how I ended up talking. It just kind of snowballed from there. But it's crazy because like I have that spot because the fact that I did compete, and it's just like a whole full circle. And yeah, it's nuts. And I don't know. I always get so nervous because people are always like asking me to travel to places, and they're always like, "Can you come here? Can you come here?" And I'm like, "I'm trying." And now I can be like, "Hey, I'm actually going to be a guest there." So yes, I will be finally. But it's I don't know. It's been a very crazy, very fast 3 years in terms of like, I guess, growing, and I guess it's just very, it's hard because I see myself as just like a weird person. I'm just a nerd, and then I guess on the flip side of it, now I have like
you found you found other nerd people,
and it was just weird. It's just like I don't know why people think that I'm like special. I'm not special. I'm just kind of awkward. So
listen, we're all pretty awkward in our own way, and you know, and that's the thing too. Like you get to interact with other people who share the same passion in things that you do, and you know, it's a lot larger community than I thought it would have been. It was when I was growing up, because when I first started this series, I was like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, reach out, find other nerd people. We're gonna talk about video games, cosplays, movies, and I will say, like, the majority. This would be episode 16 of Nerd Talk, and I would say probably the majority of these episodes have all been cosplayers, and it's been each person that I have done this with is very unique, and it's been very fun, and that's part of that too. And you know, a lot of them watch the episodes too, and so you know, I want them to connect with other cosplayers. You know, if one of them's watching with this video, I want them to be able to connect with you, and you know, continue to grow that community, because it's pretty cool watching everybody just go out and get all hot and sweaty in these cosplays, but they don't care because they're doing something that they love, and so that's pretty cool. That's a very awesome thing. I've only been to like one small con near where I live, but I'm actually going to Dragon Con in Atlanta this year. One of the cosplayers I had on a few episodes ago was telling me about it, and I was like, you know what? It's only a 2-hour drive from me. Let me go check it out. And so we're planning on meeting up over there. So it's gonna be exciting to check that out.
That's really cool. No, I've never been. I think I'm kind of trying to go this year, but I don't know if it's gonna work out with my schedule. But I'm gonna try. But yeah, I've never been, but I've heard a lot about that one.
So you've been. So you got Virginia, you got North Carolina. Where else have you been for the cons?
So this year coming up, I'm guesting at a plethora of places. I'm gonna have to make a list and make like a little mini like tour announcement. I joke about that, but I think that's funny. But before, last year, I guested at a bunch of local places in Virginia. So like FredCon, Fairfax, Hampton, all over, just literally all over. And there's more, but I'm blanking right now. And this year, there's a small con that's starting up at a college near me, actually.
Oh, okay.
It's the University of Mary Washington. It's their first con. It's called Eagle Con, I think. But they're great. So I'm guesting there. And then, of course, I'm guesting at all the same like local places this year. On top of Tidewater Comic Con, Nashville, Tennessee, Raleigh, North Carolina for GalaxyCon, Richmond for GalaxyCon. I feel like I'm forgetting other ones. It's hard to remember between like the ones that I'm guesting at, but then the ones that I want to go to for fun, but then ones that I'm requested to go to. Right. And so like I'm trying to hit all the avenues, but it's kind of hard because even now when I go to places just for like fun, people will stop me and they're like, Astra, and I'm like, oh, people like know me now. I have to like be
you're pretty famous now, so
I hate it. I was like, no, I'm just a person. It's fine. Like, no. So yeah, it's yeah.
How far in advance did they contact you about being a guest at some of these?
So the very first one that I ever did, it was kind of like haphazard. It kind of all happened like in the span of like right before the con, like 2 weeks before. And then after that, the showrunner, I guess, obviously really liked whatever I did. And so ended up planning to have me come back for all of the other shows that they run. So from there, it was like months and months out in advance. And then after that, it was like, hey, can we book you for next year for this, and this? And I'm like, oh. And then, for example, like GalaxyCon, the one in Ohio was in December, the first weekend of December. And then Richmond for GalaxyCon is March of this year. And then Raleigh is, I think, July. I could be wrong. I think it's July. But yeah, it kind of depends on stuff. Right. I mean, like the UMW con that's starting up, they reached out to me in like October, and theirs is happening in February.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's so sometimes I book out really far. I was booking up for this year in the middle of last year.
Oh, wow.
There are times where like I will be asked like, hey, are you free this weekend? Can we pencil you in? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm already booked. Like, which is a crazy thing to say.
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell people no because I try to do everything for everybody. So I have to start telling people no, I guess. But yeah.
Listen, just keep doing it until you can't do it anymore. So that's what it seems like with you right now. You're just all over the place.
Everywhere, all over the up and down the East Coast. Yeah,
crazy. I think so. You said there's one in Nashville. Nashville's about Nashville's about 3 hours from me. Actually, maybe longer. It's like 3 or 4 hours. I can't remember which one it is. So I live in Alabama, so I'm like right there between. Okay. And so that's why I'm trying. I think Nashville is about 3 to 4 hours away. Maybe I'll make that one. We'll see. We'll check it. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'll have to. I can send you the con stuff afterwards. So you can look at
I'll definitely check because I do want to check them out, and and plus show support to the people who come on here as well. I want to do what I can to show support. So if that means me driving to 5 different cons just to like see these guests that I've had on, I'll definitely will do that just to support them.
Oh, that's really sweet. I try really hard to like spread out where I'm going. So like I try to go a bit north and south, and like I try to go west as far as I can. Like I try to like spread everything equally, right? So that way people can like try to. It's hard. It's really hard, but I try.
What's the farthest west have you been?
Just in life, I think the farthest west I've ever been was Kansas. Ew. But like for cons, I don't even know, to be honest with you.
Kansas.
But that was so long ago. Yeah, well, so I was in orchestra when I was in school. And
let's do everything.
I played the cello. And I got the opportunity to travel to Kansas to play with Mark Wood was one of the main creators of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra with electric orchestra instruments. And so I got the opportunity to work with him in his orchestra in Kansas. And I was the lead cellist for the summer camp for that year. And it was super fun. That's the only time I've ever been that far west. I've never been to California. I've never been to like anything like that. I've never been out of the country. I would love to go to England. So if anybody's listening that has any reason at all to have a guest in London, I'm right here. If you would like to have me over there. I've been jokingly trying to plug that forever.
Oh, right.
But yeah.
I think you'll get one. You'll find one. So.
One day. That's like the dream, right?
So let me see. So you said you also did you were also a theater kid, right?
Yes, yeah.
How was that? How did that go?
So, you know, being very honest, I wasn't very liked in my theater program. My director was very biased, and he never really gave me like a chance to do anything. And so I was in it for all 4 years of high school. And the only time I was also on the improv team for 4 years. And then that was great. Yes, I did. And then I also, they have this thing called forensics. It's not like science forensics. It's the other forensics. It's the speech and dramatic competition stuff. And I competed in that for 2 years, and I actually won the state championship my senior year for serious dramatic. So that was great. I proved myself then, but yeah, my theater director really never gave me that chance. But I don't know if I can swear on here, but I'm a very persistent person. And so when I found out that he didn't like me, I made a point of being like, well, I'm going to be here all 4 years and you're going to like me or not. So
persistent.
Yeah, I kind of forced myself in there, and I was like, I am going to be a pain in your ass for the next 4 years, on purpose. But yeah, it was worth it because I ended up learning a lot, and a lot of the things that I actually ended up learning in like tech theater, I ended up applying to stuff like this now, like my lighting setups, or when I'm doing photo shoots for stuff like that, or you know, building. I learned a lot with building sets and with learning how to work with different mediums of how to incorporate that now. So on like a back end side of it, it was great, but yeah. Not like the best story that you probably would be hoping for, but that's the truth. That's the honest truth.
I typically I have friends who are theater people, and I do go to support them depending on what the play is if I'm interested. Because I remember growing in middle school, and elementary school, but primarily middle school, I was in choir, and I remember
I switched to choir.
So I remember
I love choir.
we went to Birmingham, a city that's here in Alabama, and we went and saw Lion King on Broadway. They were doing a tour, and they were coming through Birmingham, so we went and saw that. And that was my first play. I fell asleep about halfway through, just because I'm not much of a play person. I'll go to support my friends, but whether I fall asleep or not, that is a risk you have to take. let's see. Then my friend Asia, she was in a play. I forgot what she did a play. I can't remember the name of it. Even though I say I don't like plays, I guess I did like Hamilton.
I love Hamilton. Yeah.
Although it was very long, I did enjoy. It was one of
long.
those situations where everybody was consistently talking about it, and I was like, okay, let me check this out. And I was like, okay, I'm okay with this. Phantom of the Opera.
No,
it's not for everybody. It's
not.
It's okay. It's fine. What else plays have I seen? We did.
That's okay.
So
I have a.
Oh, go ahead. No, you're fine.
Sorry, it glitched. I thought you were done talking.
Sorry.
Oh
no, you're good. You're fine. Go ahead.
I was gonna say like it's okay because I get a lot of crap because I actually got to see Cats live and I hate that. It was so boring. It was terrible. I know that it's like a cult classic and you're supposed to like bow down in the theater world, but it was horrible and I hate it. So don't feel bad about Phantom of the Opera. It's okay.
Oh gosh. Let's see. What else? So we have a small theater community here. Let's see. So a lot of my friends have been in different productions. They did A Christmas Carol. My friend Skylar, I believe he wrote the play for that they did. They did that. A Christmas Story. They did a play for that. Mary Poppins. That was pretty good. Mary Poppins is she's okay, but it was a pretty good play. There's some other good plays too. I typically I don't go to these things unless my friends are in them and they kind of like aggressively tell me to go. And so
come to my show.
Basically, it's one of those situations like if I don't go and support, some of them will fake cry to make me go, and so then I'm just kind of like, okay, well now I have to go, otherwise I look like the bad guy. And so it is one of those situations, but it is what it is.
Funny.
What kind of TV shows? What kind of your TV shows do you like?
Oh my god. You asked me that, and then it's like every TV show I've ever watched is like gone.
It just comes to
it's a lot of anything and everything, I guess. I'm a big fan of Emily in Paris. My mom and I binged the entire new season.
Wasn't that just canceled?
Oh, Stranger Things, of course. I love how I'm just sitting here like, I don't know. Oh god, yeah, of course, duh. Supernatural, The Vampire Diaries. You know what? Listen, all right. What do you mean?
Your choices are pretty typical, from what I can tell, and so I'm just like
for now. But like, I don't know. I've watched a lot of. It's hard because like those are the things that come to my mind off the top of my head, just because like I either grew up watching them or like they're right in front of my face. But I've watched a lot of things. Like I really have, and I'm blanking on everything now. If you name it, I've like probably watched it. I've watched everything. Almost everything, I think.
Oh, almost. Did you watch Wednesday?
I did watch Wednesday.
Okay. Did you like it?
I did. Yeah, it was. I don't know. I was a little nervous because everybody was hyping it up a lot, and I was usually when that happens, I'm like,
yeah. I understand.
But I actually ended up enjoying it a lot.
It was
my
fun.
mom was joking with me. Yeah, my mom ended up joking with me, and she was like, "You should get your cello back out, and you should play it cosplay Wednesday." And I was like, that would be funny. That would be smart. Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things that, like everybody's kind of like riding right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
like Facebook and TikTok, like all those places, all those sites are like just pumping out Jenna Ortega stuff, and they do that a lot when something's popular, and I'm just kind of like, Okay, I think you can stop
Yeah,
now.
I get tired of it. Like I get so tired. I don't think I've ever really done that. The only time I did it was honestly on accident, with my Max cosplay stuff because
Mm-hmm.
I did it like right before the wave started, and then it just kept going, and I
You're
was
right.
like, oh, whoops. I was like, this is gonna look kind of like but I'm not. But I was like, oh well, okay, I guess I'm on this trend wave now by accident. But yeah, with Stranger Things and all that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've ever really been into like jumping on things just for trends
Right,
because it gets
right.
kind of boring.
Yeah. I mean, if it's good, then I'll like it. But
Yeah.
like if it's not, I'm just like, it was okay. I like it was like see like the latest season of Stranger Things. It was fine. I do have gripes with it.
What are your
it,
gripes? I want to hear them.
it honestly, the
Tell
way
me.
they had it set up, they should have treated it like it was the final season, because
Okay.
you kind of you break it up like you did and make these episodes 2+ hours long. You should have done that and treated it as the final season instead of season 4, because now we have season 5 coming out, and you went dark.
Oh my god. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Why did it turn off? Oh my god, it was tired of hearing you slander Stranger Things. That's what it was.
Well,
It was tired. My light
it's
said shut up.
okay. It's okay because I'm not really done, so it worked.
No, okay, go ahead.
And I think my biggest gripe is they fell into the Marvel situation where they really didn't kill off their main characters. Like I was extremely I was extremely pissed that they didn't kill off Max, because you had an opportunity to do it, and I think that would have, in my opinion, made the show season 4 one of the best if
Yeah.
you went and killed off one of your main characters, but you didn't do it. Now, if they
It
come
would have
out in
made the
season
stakes.
5 and they do kind of
Yeah.
like a cool thing about it, maybe I'll take it back. But the initial watching it, they should have killed off Max. That's
I have a
so.
few theories. I have quite a few theories, but yeah, I definitely agree with you that like I think it would have been a lot more impactful if she died. I think it would have been. I mean, it would have like murdered my soul. But that's the point. Like, it would have felt like there were actually stakes in what was going on.
Right.
I felt like Eddie's death was so predictable.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which is disappointing because I really wanted more from him.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, like, it is so difficult, I think, nowadays to build up a villain as good as they did for Vecna.
Mm-hmm.
They wrote the backstory and everything so perfect, and he's such a terrifying villain that I have a really hard time understanding and figuring out how they're going to defeat something that powerful.
Right.
I have a really hard time, like, accept it because they're gonna have to like do something really, really cool for it to like be accepted. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like if they just kind of like, you know, if they just kind of pull like a Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness move,
yeah,
then it's gonna be like wow, what was the point of this? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Why did we do all of this for you to just be like, oh, I'm dead? Like, I think I'm gonna be very critical of that, but yeah, I would agree with you that that's like a totally fair thing to have with the gripes of that, because yeah, I definitely think that in season 5, like for the finale, if they don't like kill some of these kids, this gonna sound so horrible. If they don't kill some of these kids off, somebody's gonna cut that. I know it. Somebody's gonna crop this. I'm gonna be canceled on Twitter later. But if somebody doesn't like kill off these kids in season 5, it's gonna be so disappointing.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
yeah.
Again, I just feel like they'll just fall into that Marvel trap of not really killing off their main characters. But we will see. But guys, that is it for this episode of Nerd Talk for the first episode of 2023. Very engaging. I really very much enjoyed this. It's such an interesting character I have on. I like that. But you guys know the drill. Tell them where they can follow you. It should be up on screen now for those who are watching on YouTube, but for those who are listening on podcast, how can people follow and support you?
Right. So thank you for having me, first of all. But I am my name is Astra. I go by Astravoidcosplay on every single social except for Twitter because they hate me and they made me cut it because it was too long. So it's just Astravoidcos. But yes, so if you search me up on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, I have all 3 of those. And like I said, my Twitter is just the shortened version. Or if you even go to my Instagram, my link in my bio, you can find literally everything that way. It's super easy.
This was very fun, and most definitely we'll have her on again so we can talk more about her cosplay trips. That's going to be very interesting to check out and hear about. So I do look forward to hearing that. But as per usual, you guys, hit that like and subscribe button, comment below. Be sure to go check her out, and I will see you guys. This is coming out on a Friday. If you're watching this now, it's on Friday. So I will see you guys on Monday with our start of year of Halo, with our first gameplay of Halo Wars. And until then, I'll catch you guys later. See ya.